You guys, we need to talk about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds because this drama just keeps getting messier and messier. Like, just when you think things are calming down, Ryan goes and tells a story that has everyone looking at him sideways. And don't even get me started on how Taylor Swift keeps getting dragged back into this lawsuit nightmare when she literally wants nothing to do with it. We're talking attempted depositions, trespassing arrests, and a legal battle that's about to hit the 1-year mark with no end in sight. So buckle up, because we're breaking down everything that's been happening with the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni situation. And trust me, it's a lot. So let's start with Ryan Reynolds, because honestly, who would have thought he'd be the one adding fuel to this fire right now? Like, you'd think with everything going on with Blake's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, Ryan would just want to lay low and stop giving people things to talk about. But no. Apparently not, because he recently shared a story that got everyone talking. Ryan was doing press for his John Candy documentary, and he told this whole story about trying to get Bill Murray involved in the project. He said he left like 40 messages for Bill Murray, desperately trying to get him to call back. And finally, Bill calls him back at literally the worst possible time, right when Ryan and Blake are walking into some formal event. So Ryan's phone rings, he sees it's Bill Murray, and he's so desperate to take this call that when Blake whispers to him, "We have to go in," he literally blurts out "F you" at her so he can stay on the phone. Now, Ryan told the story in this comical way, trying to show how desperate he was to lock down Bill Murray. But of course, the headlines ran with it. Ryan Reynolds told his wife to F off. The story went absolutely viral, and I'm sitting here thinking, Ryan, why would you tell this story right now? Like, of all the times to share a story about cursing at your wife, you choose now when everyone is already scrutinizing your relationship and Blake's legal drama. But here's what I found really interesting. What really stood out to me was that Ryan used the word wife multiple times throughout the story. He kept saying, "My wife, Blake Lively." And to me, that felt like him shutting down all the divorce rumors that have been swirling around. Because you guys, people have been speculating hard about their relationship lately. Ryan recently took down a ton of their Instagram photos together, like a significant amount of couple photos just disappeared from his feed. And I'm like, why would you do this at a time when everyone is watching your every move? Every single thing they post gets analyzed, and you choose now to delete couple photos? Of course people are going to think something's wrong. So there were all these rumors about trouble in their marriage, people saying maybe they're separated, maybe they're heading for divorce. But then Ryan tells this story and keeps emphasizing "my wife." And I think that was intentional. Like, he's saying we're still married, we're still together, everything's fine. Whether or not everything actually is fine, who knows? But I think that was his way of addressing the divorce speculation without directly addressing it. But honestly, if there's trouble anywhere, it's definitely with this lawsuit that just feels never-ending. Let's talk about this whole legal battle between Blake and Justin, because it has been absolutely exhausting to follow. And the worst part is that it seems like this entire ordeal has completely ruined Blake's friendship with Taylor Swift. Like, it's pretty clear at this point that they're not friends anymore, or at least not as close as they used to be. Taylor's team has made it very clear that she wants absolutely nothing to do with this legal battle. According to her spokesperson, Taylor never even set foot on the set of It Ends With Us. She wasn't involved in any casting decisions, any creative decisions, she didn't score the film, she never saw an edit. The only connection Taylor had to this movie was permitting the use of one of her songs, My Tears Ricochet. That's it. Taylor's representative put out a statement saying that given her involvement was just licensing a song, which 19 other artists also did for this film, the document subpoena is basically designed to use Taylor Swift's name to draw public interest and create tabloid clickbait, instead of actually focusing on the facts of the case. But here's where it gets complicated. Throughout this lawsuit, we've seen Taylor's name pop up in text messages between Justin and Blake. And from these texts, it seems like Taylor was present for some moments where Blake and Justin were together, along with Ryan Reynolds. Justin felt like Taylor was there to add pressure, like Blake was showing off her celebrity best friend and husband to be like, "Look, they like what I wrote, so you should use my ideas in the film." There was also that interview at the premiere with Isabella Ferreira, one of the actresses, and she revealed that Taylor Swift actually helped her get her role in the movie. She said Taylor was a helpful part of the audition process. But I'm sure this statement has absolutely haunted Taylor since then, because now it contradicts what her team is saying about her having zero creative input. But what we do know is that Justin and his legal team are trying their absolute hardest to get Taylor in for questioning. In May 2025, Justin Baldoni's legal team attempted to subpoena her. Justin alleged that Blake, supported by both Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, pressured him during production. Initially, Justin's side tried to formally bring Taylor in for a deposition, but a judge criticized that move as overreaching, and the subpoena was eventually withdrawn. However, the court did allow for a limited collection of Taylor's communications with Blake, so text messages or emails could still be reviewed, but Taylor herself would not be compelled to sit for questioning. Then last month, Justin's lawyers made this last-minute push to extend the discovery window so they could depose Taylor, and they even claimed that she had agreed to be deposed, which Taylor's attorneys immediately denied. They were like, she never agreed to questioning at all. And then things got really crazy. It came out that a man was literally arrested outside of Travis Kelce's gated Kansas estate while attempting to serve Taylor with deposition papers. Reports identified the man as Justin Lee Pfizer, a former police officer turned private investigator, and he allegedly jumped Travis's fence while Taylor was believed to be at home. He was quickly detained by security and arrested on charges of misdemeanor trespassing. Now, I don't know if this was 100% something that came directly from Justin's legal team, but either way, this story hitting the papers was not a good look for Justin at all. And this is the thing with this entire legal battle. It really has just been this exhausting game of public opinion ping-ponging back and forth. At first, people absolutely hated Blake during the press tour for the movie. Then when the New York Times article came out about her allegations, people were kind of on her side. But then Justin's complaint came out, and it seemed like Blake had tried to steal the movie from him, and some of her claims didn't quite add up to the evidence Justin was sharing. So ever since, it's been this messy back and forth where neither of them looks particularly good. Blake hasn't looked great, but then in situations like the Taylor Swift thing, Justin hasn't looked good either because it seems like he's dragging someone uninvolved into his legal drama. And you guys, we're getting closer to almost 1 whole year of this going down. It's officially been a year since the movie came out. Can you imagine how expensive this has gotten for both of them? The legal fees must be astronomical. What's interesting is that Blake is trying to act like none of this is happening on social media. She was recently speaking at an event about her hair care brand, Blake Brown. She also posted a throwback to Gossip Girl, which I found interesting because she's never really wanted to be associated with that show. She even included a photo with Penn Badgley, who's technically her ex. Blake also posted that she was at Universal Studios in Orlando. She's really trying to post content that removes her from this entire legal battle. Of course, the comments on all her posts are limited right now with everything going on. But this is where we are with the legal battle, and I swear every single week there is some crazy new update. None of these updates make anybody look good. They all look pretty bad at this point. The trial is set for March 2026, so that's when they're scheduled to actually go to court. But until then, we're just going to keep getting these updates, these little pieces of drama. It's going to be another several months of this before we get any real resolution. And what's crazy to me is that no one wants to settle. Most lawsuits settle out of court, but both Blake and Justin seem determined to see this thing through. They want their day in court. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think about all of this. Do you think Blake is in the right here? Or do you think Justin has a valid case? Do you feel bad for Taylor getting dragged into this mess? Do you think Ryan should have just kept quiet with that Bill Murray story? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and send this to a friend who's been following this Blake Lively drama as hard as we have. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!